Divine cards is a system of cartomancy where playing cards are used to make predictions of your characteristics and your future timeline. The origins of this system date back to over 20,000 years ago. This was during a time when ancient wise men observed the cosmos and formulate mathematical systems. These teachings were preserved till this day, and I'm honored to present to you the Divine Cards. In this system, each day of the year is assigned one card. Each living man or woman is assigned 1 to 4 cards depending on their date of birth. The main card or birth card is of most significance, followed by the planetary ruling card or PRC. For some birthdays, there is a third or fourth card. You can see from the chart here or check the links below for your card. If you feel that the card doesn't really resonate with you, you may want to look into your birth time. I noticed the time difference when I was calculating the lucky dates for a client to buy lottery. It opened the next day. For example, if you're born in Singapore on March 7, in New York, it's March 6. So you may have to convert your birth time to UTC and then follow that date to find your birth cards. Once you have found your cards, you can check them out. If you cannot find the video on your particular card, means I have not made them yet. So please like and subscribe so that I can continue to make more videos. Thank you. 3 is fire energy, also represents Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, positivity, and expansion. And 3 is also passion and creativity. 3 also represents Trinity, the light bearer. 3 can be indecisive as they have to choose their path. They can be scattered and diffuse, perhaps wasting time, energy, and words in this uncertain 3D world. The positive side of the 3 is happiness, optimism, sociability, right choice. The negative side is jealousy, worry, intolerance, and indecision. The clubs symbolize the teacher and the receptive quality of the mind, the intellectual interests and mental reactions to people, things, circumstances, and events. They are the seekers. This is the first leaf to come into life and the last to go into fall. So it signifies summer. The ancient element is air. Air is required to ignite the fire of creation and expansion. It is also the ambition that creates. It uses knowledge to create. It creates life, money, and wealth. They are the guardians of intelligence and rule all mental processes, psychological reaction, educational interests, inquiries, communication, and messages. They investigate and instigate arguments, disputes, and debates. The crux is also associated with luck and maturity. They are the brains behind successful activities. Their path and quest is for universal knowledge. They are the messengers of the gods, the links between heaven and earth. The clubs are good at all forms of education, legal matters, literature, journalism, and all creative sides. The positive side of the clubs, they are brilliant, magnetic, thoroughly informed, and They make safe counselors. The negative side can be aggressive, intrusive, trickery, unreliable, and dishonest. So the club's living man, woman, or energy can tend towards the positive, negative, or being balanced. This is the Rider's card, the card of mental creativity, or are you the creative warrior? Trigger warning before I start this reading. This is one of the most difficult life paths. It has the most challenging energies in the whole deck. It's not bad, but you really seriously have to be on the spiritual path to make things smooth because the underlying energy of this life path is quite unstable. There is often a change or several changes happening in your life. You have a kind of stubbornness that makes changes difficult, and also because of all this mental creative energy, it may be difficult for you to start things. That is why you often have to go within yourself and tap into your intuition, and you will be guided well. It is important that you have a meditation practice so that you can cultivate your own spiritual power and work with what your soul knows. There is poverty consciousness that must be dealt with before you can feel really secure. What you gain is usually through hard work. You may be born into wealth, doesn't mean the poverty consciousness is not there. It could be hidden in the subconscious. You are usually sympathetic towards the underprivileged. There's also misfortune connected with death, touch wood, related to inheritance, or something may interfere with you receiving your rights, rightful ownership, or debts. You are also accident prone, so you want to be careful. You don't always have to follow traditions because tradition is always changing. It may be good for you to accept new values so that you can grow. Some of you can be compulsive talkers because you may have a need to voice out or communicate. Because your mind is so quick, you may have short attention spans. You may also have regular panic attacks, which you may or may not be aware of. Financial problems are often caused by some female relative. Mom can be godmother or some family members. It is usually through some kind of illness or demands. Spiritual or metaphysical cultivation is good for you, especially in your later years. This is the key to offset the negative, unstable life pattern. Your challenge in this lifetime is to have faith. Your problems are usually solved if you can overcome your spiritual skepticism. There is often indecisions and restlessness in regards to career. One thing for sure, you are extremely creative, whether you know it or not. Perhaps as a result of this creativity, the uncertainty of direction can be a big issue. You may find yourself constantly trying to find a stable or increasing income, job, or career. Your career may be unstable with periods of steady, dependable income in between. So there is often a change or changes associated with your occupation. You may have two choices to pursue, two patterns to choose from, two occupations at the same time. Go within yourself, find the answers. Take your time to do so. Once you find your path, stay on your path with confidence and you will succeed. You can be successful as real estate or building agents, property. Stay away from anything to do with the sea, waters, oil, drinks, drugs, anything that can influence you in a negative way. Bear in mind this is a collective reading. For career readings, we still need to look at your birth details, what elements, things like that. So if you want a consultation, the links are below. Your emotional life is not very satisfactory, and usually you will not be satisfied with love relationships. You do have an innate desire for love and affection. However, it's usually doomed to disappointments, problems with finances, family obligations, ill health, or some kind of interference. Marriageability on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 is very marriageable, 10 is totally unmarriageable. 3 of Clubs, your marriageability is a 10. Yes, you are totally unmarriageable. You may be indecisive and you may have a fear of commitment, or you may attract those who have problems to commit, or those who are afraid or unwilling to make a commitment. You may or may not be aware that you have this tendency of avoiding any kind of commitment. As a result, there may be a kind of a faded extramarital affairs or some kind of obstacles to your marriage. Some of you are better off being single as long as you make a firm decision to be with your partner or spouse. You should be able to work things out, and it would be good to have a spouse who understands your need for freedom and space. And also, as long as you are connected to your higher self, you can be rest assured that there can be no problems or minimal problems in your marriage. From my experience, the marriageability is just an indication of how much you want to have a home and the stability of a home. It does not tell if you are able to maintain the marriage. For example, the marriageability of Elizabeth Taylor is a 4. She is very marriageable and has this need to want to have a stable home and security. However, as you can see from her history, there is a string of divorce and marriages. Besides marriageability, we can also see your connections with this particular person. Besides your own cards, you also have your Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and a whole lot of other planetary cards. There are also past life connections. I will list some of your cards at the end of this video. So if you want to know what sort of connections you have between you and this particular person, you can search for their birth cards by their date of birth. For example, if the person is born on January 14, their main birth card will be the King of Diamonds, and their planetary card will be the Eight of Cups. They may also have a third or fourth card. And then you check if the King of Diamonds has any present life connection with you. There can be more than one connection. There can be a Venus or double Venus, sometimes even triple Venus, which is, I think, quite rare, but yes, there is. There can be karmic connections. And then you can search for the King of Diamonds general reading to get a basic idea of this person's characteristics. Three of Cups. Your first karmic is the Five of Diamonds. Your second karmic is the King of Diamonds. Your Mercury is the Three of Spades. Your Venus is the Nine of Hearts. Your Mars is the Seven of Cups. Your Jupiter is the Five of Diamonds. Your Saturn is the Queen of Spades. Your Uranus is the Jack of Cups. Your Neptune is the Nine of Diamonds. Your challenge is the Seven of Spades. And the result is the Two of Cups. So what are all these connections about? Every card can indicate a living man or woman. It can also indicate an energy that you have or you are dealing with. You can also get the extended readings if you want to know more about your connections with these different karmics, how to deal with these challenging energies, and how to navigate around these energies. It is good to know so that you can navigate around these people or energies. For the extended readings, I will be doing the Karma cards and Pluto cards first because I find that these are more important ones. You can click on the links below to find out what are these cards about. Bear in mind that these are general readings because there may be details that I'm not able to share with you through the videos. If you would like a more detailed reading or learn more, you can check out Robert Lee Cam or myself and my partners. All the links are on the screen or below. It's an honor for me that you subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.